In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Lightning Component Builder and understand various parts of the builder and the concepts associated with it. Let's go ahead and launch the builder. The Lightning Component Builder allows you either to create a Lightning component or to modify a Lightning component. And again, you have the freedom to pick and choose the type of the Lightning components that you're creating: an application, a component, an interface, an event, and of course a design token. By default, you would be at a component type. When you are creating a new Lightning component, there are two mandatory fields you need to supply: the label and the name, and of course you have the freedom to supply the description as you see fit. When you are modifying a Lightning component, the system would give you a list of all available Lightning components. Again, the component could be of a type Lightning application or a component interface or any other applicable types. All you do is pick that specific component that you want to modify and you click continue. So when you are creating a Lightning component or when you are modifying a Lightning component, you would be assembling your component in what we call the ABCD canvas. This is divided into three primary segments. One is the header, where you see the name of the component that you are either creating it or editing, and of course the type of the component, in this case is a component, and then a set of actions at the top right corner. And the bottom part is divided into two segments. The left panel, which consists all the components that the builder is aware of at this moment. And again, the list of the components might change in your case. That is because you might be working on a latest release of ABCD, or you would have rolled in additional new components using Component Manager. In either case, the list would be different. But fundamentally, the list is organized into different categories like core, event, lightning, and you have the freedom to organize them whichever any way you want it. And if you want to know more about each component, you just click on the component. That would open up an information panel that will give you a description about that specific component, and of course what are the drop targets for that specific components. And when you look on the right side, you have two segments here. One is a submenu. The submenu is very specific to the type of the Lightning component you're creating, meaning the submenu would be different if you're creating an interface or an event or a design token. And of course, similarly, it could be different for a component and an application. And on the central part is the canvas, where you will drag and drop different components. Typically, dragging and dropping of the components is involved with you identifying the component that you want to drag and drop, grab the component and drag and drop it onto the canvas. Once you move over the canvas, if the component is eligible to receive the drop, it will glow into green, at which point you simply drop the component. Once you drop the component, the system would hide the component palette in the left and brings up what we call the properties panel on the right. Few interesting things, it will tell you the component that you're working with, and of course same is represented here. This is an attribute component and different properties for that component. The mandatory ones are marked properly in this case. So I'm going to give it a name for my component. I'm going to call it test, and you have the freedom to pick and choose the type of it, and of course supply any other applicable attributes and simply accept your changes. So this hides the property panel and brings the component palette for you, so you can drag and drop more and more and more components. Once you have a component defined, you always can go back to its properties by clicking the gears icon, and you have the full freedom to reposition it wherever you see fit within the panel. And this is a very generic behavior of Lightning Component Builder. And of course, in my subsequent videos, I'll show you how you can start with creating a simple Hello World component and then move on to creating more complex Lightning components. Remember, all of these through drag and drop, not writing a linear lines of code. Thank you so very much.